Can someone please confirm that? Good afternoon. Everyone is listening me? Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. So shall we start now? There are 38 participation of except me and Ketika. Okay, we will start, right? Okay. What we did that in the last class, of you all maybe remember that, some of you can't. It would not be received yet. I already made the request to that Faculty of Commerce and Management and received this LMS username and password yesterday only. So previously they created, but username and password just only I can be able to be accessed that. So today we plan to meet you all as a physical access, but unfortunately because of the strike, meet you all in physical access. Okay, okay. So for that reason, we need even a guidance for 2 hours class will be in Zoom lectures. Here in after we will conduct the physical access. Okay. Yes, there are 63 participation except me. Or we can start now. Okay, what we did in the last class, we studied conditions and warranty. We start the concept. In condition, we start implied condition and what is express condition. In the implied conditions one, we did the conditions as to title. First one is condition as to title. That already we did that. Can anyone remember what is conditions as to title? Anyone in the class? What is condition as to title? Anyone? Anyone in the class, can you remember what is condition as to title? No one remember that.
Recording in progress.
I told that no students, if you could not be, it's fine. We can save the time. Dilshara, can you remember what is we did under condition as to title? Can't remember. So when the lectures is going on, you are making some kind of notes in your exercise book, no? Even you doesn't have a note. Okay, study. We receive the notes, no? Okay, then we start from the concept today, condition as to description. Condition as to description. Condition as to is the second implied condition. Regarding this implied condition, condition as to description is the one of the important implied condition. So let's see under sections 44. Let's see under sections section 40. Description. Condition as to description. So I just show the sales of goods ordinance. Hope everyone can see the sales of goods ordinance in the screen. Okay, go to section 40. See that section 14, the short title you can be see sale by description. So condition as to description is one of the implied condition. So section 14 is tried to be elaborate what is condition as to description. If the condition as to description is breached there, you know this is one kind of condition. So if the condition is breached, you can be able to repudiate the contract as well as you can be claimed the damages. See section 14, where there is a contract for a sale of goods by description. Where there is a contract for a sale of goods by description, there is an implied condition. See, there is no implied condition. Implied condition that the good shall correspond with the description. That the good shall correspond with the description. So the sections 14, the first part, describing what is sale by description. So where there is a contract for sale of goods by description, if I entering into the contract by description, you doesn't know about the good, but you are describing to the seller, you are going to be buying a washing machine. In order to buy that washing machine, you are describing to the seller. You told to the seller, I need this washing machine for an industrial purpose. I need to wash this washing machine for a one time, a maximum 17 kilogram of clothes. It should be automatic. Only what's the things I have to do? I have to start the machine. Thereafter, within the limited period of time, the machine has to be give the trial clothes. So only one thing you are expecting, you're describing how amount of goods or what kind of goods you need there. You are describing. Okay, so where there is a contract for a sale of goods by description, you're describing regarding the goods. If you are describing, then there is an implied condition. What's the implied condition? The seller has to be satisfied the goods still correspond with the description. What's the thing you are expecting to be buy the goods regarding for this particular example, the washing machine? So what you are describing on that, the seller has to be give the washing machine for that particular purpose. What's you are expressing on that, the seller has to be satisfied you. What's the good you are intended to be buy? Regarding the goods you are describing that. So this is a good I am given to that. The seller has to be satisfied. 109. Can you please mute your mic unless you doesn't have a question? 109. Unless you doesn't have a question, please keep your mic off or mute. Okay, that is section 14. First part, condition as to description. Let's go with the slide. Okay, section 40. The same thing what we are seeing in the slide, where there is a contract for sale of goods by description, there is an implied condition that the goods should correspond with the description. So the seller has to be given that kind of goods first you are describing on that. Then buyer is not bound to accept any pay for the goods which are not in accordance with the how this is the color I need, that I need the washing machine in ash color, and the washing machine should be has 2 buckets. In the 2 bucket, one thing is I have to be put the dirty clothes, and other bucket the dirty clothes should be washed and give it right in the bucket. How are describing that everything should be perfectly given by the seller. If the seller given, it's not bound to be accept any pay for the good. He does not be satisfied your description, then you are not be agree with that goods. For an example, see that by way of the example, somehow you doesn't understand the law, but there are circumstances by way of the examples, you can understand the law. See the example. Suppose a ship was contracted to be sold as copper fastel vessel, but actually it was only partly copper fastel, means the good did not correspond to the description, and hence the buyer took the goods, he could claim damages for a goods. Understand that what's the ship this buyer wanted to be buy from the seller? copper fast vessel. What do you mean that copper? One of the material, copper fast vessel. He asked from the seller, but the ship given by the seller, it's partly copper fast, partly the other part is mingled with other material. So the description, what's the intended purpose the buyer going to be buying? It's only partially copper fast. So what's the remedy the buyer has there? Buyer, they can be returned. He can be returned the ship. Or if the buyer took the goods, he could claim the damages. If the buyer doesn't know the goods are partly copper fast, then the buyer can be get a compensation or a claim damages from the seller because the good does not be correspond with the description. The good does not be correspond with the description. See another example. A bought a machinery from B, who described 1 year old. Think that A wants to be a sewing machine. In stripping machine, B told that the machine is 1 year old. After buying A, comes to know that it's very old machinery. See that B told that it's only expired for 1 year. 1 year only, per particular machine is in the usage. We identify that the machine is very, very old. Maybe 6 or 7 years of old machine. A can return the machine. What's the reason? What's the reasons he entered into the agreement with B? B told that's a 1 year old machine. So he understand the description. He agree with the description. Thereafter, he buy that. When he started to use that only, he understand that the machine is so very old. So he does not be correspond with the description. So because of this breach of such description, A can be returned the machinery. You know that now one of the implied condition is condition as to description. So it's one of the condition. If the condition is breached, you can be repudiate the contract as well as you can be claim the damages. So here A can be returned the machinery. Got it, student? Understand, student? Understand, or do I need to be repeat? Please unmute and say, have you all understand what is condition as to description? Or you have options here. You can be raise your hands or you can be text that. Understand. Only one person is understand. Guys, this is how you are engaging in online lectures. From when I'm starting the class, from that day onwards, I'm again and again repeat the same thing. You have to be engaged with me. You have to directly unmute and say that. You have several options here. I told that now I'm very, very friendly with you. You need to, if you have a doubt, you doesn't have any understandability, you have to raise your question. It's your response. Got it? So silence I take. It's an acceptance. Okay. So regarding this condition as to description, we can be divided into 3. One is where the buyer has never seen the goods. Where the buyer has never seen the good and buys them only on the basis of description given by the seller. There are circumstances. No, you are needed to buy a washing machine. Previously, in your home or your relative also never used the washing machine. You doesn't have any idea or you doesn't have any knowledge on the washing machine. This is a very time you go to the shop and you need to be buy the washing machine. No, what you did that, you go to the shop and ask to be buy the washing machine. So now ask that, what kind of brand you need? How much amount of plus do you need to be the washing machine? What color you need that? How much amount of electricity you need to be intended to the purpose to buy that washing machine? Like that, seller asked that. You doesn't know any answer because you in your life you never ever use the washing machine. Even you doesn't know how to access the washing machine. So you told to the seller, I doesn't know anything regarding the washing machine. I only know that the washing machine can be just wash the clothes and give just like a dry cloth. So you depend on the seller's skill and knowledge. So seller is a person show every washing machine and explain that, see that this is a washing machine, this color, this branded, this is how the electricity is used, that this can be you can be washed for a one time 7 kilogram. This is a washing machine you can be washed for in automatic washing machine. This is a semi-automatic washing machine. This is consists one bucket. This is consists two bucket. Like that, the seller is the person describing everything regarding the washing machine. Seller is the person describing everything, but you never seen the goods. In that circumstances, you totally rely on the description given by the seller. See that example. X bought draping machine from buyer. Could describe it to be 1 year old. The seller is the person describing that the machine is already usage in 1 year and used only to cut 50 to 600 acres. The trapping machine only can be able to be cut 50 to 60 acres. But later, X is the person bought that particular machine, trapping machine, because the description is given by the seller. Skill and judgment, seller's word. X found the machine extremely old. But why told that? The machine is only 1 year old. But X found that after buying that, the machine is extremely old, very, very old. X was entitled to reject the machine because machine did not correspond to the description. So what's the intended purpose X by the particular wrapping machine? Because of the knowledge given by the buyer, the particular machine is only 1 year old. And buyer also believed that, yes, the machine is only 1 year old. After he buy that only, he understand that the machine is extremely old, very, very old. Can't be able to be cut even 50 to 60 acres too. So it's breached the description. If the description is breached, automatically the condition is breached. If the condition is breached, then the buyer can be able to be repudiate the contract and can be able to be reject the good. Even he accept the good, he can decline the condition also from the buyer. This is one side. Second one, yeah, the buyer has seen the goods. Buyer seen the goods, but he buys them only on the basis of the description given by the seller. First he never seen the good, but he buy the goods because of the description given by the seller. Second thing, buyer seen the goods. Buyer knows that by looking everything, seller the person is explaining that. By the explanation given by the seller, buyer bought the goods. See the example. The buyer bought after seeing certain goods which were described by the seller as dating from 17th century. This goods is manufactured from 17th century, but he found them 18th century. The buyer was entitled to reject the goods because the goods did not correspond with the description given by the seller. See that manufactured in 17th. The dating from the 17th century. The found that the goods are from 18th. So it's a breach of description. If it is a breach of description, automatically it's a breach of condition. If the conditions is breached, the buyer can be able to be repudiate the condition. Okay. Yeah, the method of packaging has been described. To describe that. How you describe that for an example? Think that you are a buyer. You need to be buy 5 tons of apple from America. You told to that particular seller for each box. I can't be able to be count each and every apple. I doesn't have a time to count 5 tons of apple. So what you did there for a per box you have to be store the apple 100 apples in a one box. Like that you told them one box should be you have to be store 100 apple. Okay, so if it is a 10 bucks, then you need to be understand that it is a 1,000 apple. Okay, so you need to be get the idea to the seller how the packaging should be there. Okay, if the packaging is describing how you are describing, if it is breach, you told to the particular seller for a box, you need to be fixed for not like that. Per box, it's a breach of description. You are told that you need to be contain the 100 apples, but actually the seller did that. Only he stored 50 apples in the per box. So it's totally breached the description. See the example. X purchase from buy. X purchase from buy. 5,000 tins of canal fruit to be packed in cases, each containing 50 tins, but by supply cases containing 25 tins. Think that he told that for a package, 50 tins should be there in a box. But actually, seller did that 25 tins he stored in a box. So totally, it's again it's a description. Packaging, method of packaging is totally wrong. What's the descriptions given regarding the method of packaging to the seller? From the buyer, he told that the one box should be contain 50 tins, but he packaged that one box containing 25 tins. So, because the goods were not packaged according to the description. What's the description given by the buyer that could not be satisfied by the seller? Therefore, the buyer can be able to be repudiate the contract. Understand, student? Understand, student? See the case law. Bale versus Taylor. Bale versus Taylor. What here it's this that. Yes, I have a question. Wait. If a good doesn't correspond with the description and the buyer get another good as client and the next also doesn't correspond with the description, in the time can we return the client goods? Yes, exactly. Even the very first time also the seller is breached the condition. Second time also buyer is the person which mostly he gave the chance. Okay, seller, you may be by mistakenly, you may be packaged like this wrong, or mistakenly you give that kind of machine. So this is a machine, I need that. Please return the goods and give the new machine. And the new machines also, seller did the default. Then again, the buyer can be repudiate the contract. Even he can be return the goods. Okay. It's depend on the buyer. If the buyer is accept that, no. If the buyer again, he need a good conditions of the good, he can be claimed from the seller. Again and again, if the seller doesn't give the correspondent goods, then the buyer can be able to be take action. Again, the seller he take the good, he can be return the goods, he can be claim the compensation, even he can be do the both. Understand? Understand? Come 85. I answer your question. I may answer your question. Yes, good. Okay, see that Bailey versus Taylor. What happened here? T advises his car for a sale as a Herald convertible white 1961. It's like one kind of brand of car. Okay, T is the person advised that this is my brand of car. And the car was bought by B after examination. B is the person, see that advertisement and got to the particular seller's store and he examined this Herald convertible white 961 model car. He examined because if you wanted to be buy some vehicles, you examine machine is in a good condition and the engine is in a good condition, whether this car is suitable for my particular purpose, everything you check that no, like that. B also examining the car. In fact, car was made two parts which had been welded together, only one of which is from 1961 model, but the other part earlier model. See that what's the seller did that? Seller did there is a wrong. The car, only one part of the car is Keral convertible white 961. The other part of the car is very, very old model. So he just welded together. The two parts of the car are welded together. One part of the car is correspond with the advertisement, but we given Herald convertible white 961. Other part is an earlier model. See that it is a car, he welded together. Okay, the court held that the words 961 Herald, this is a model, advertised that now were part of the contractual description. So why we go to T's home and examine the car? Because of this advertisement. In the advertisement, T told that it's a Keral convertible white 961 model. So we also believe that for that reasons also we went to T home and examined the car. So that word Herald convertible white 961 is a part of contractual description. It's a part of contractual description. And even though the car was fully examined by the buyer, the sale was by the description because the buyer had relied in part on the newspaper advertisement issued by the seller. As the car did not correspond with the description, it was a breach of implied condition and we could reject the car. Understand, student? So it's a breach of description. Therefore, can we reject the car? Understand that how we enter into the agreement and how seller is defect the expectations of the buyer. So both are the contract, but it's a contractual description. The buyer enter into the contract, it's breached by the seller. So the buyer can we reject the goods or reject, he can reclaim the compensation if he received that, or he can repudiate the contract. There are cases: Dan versus Australian Lighting Milton, Hallington versus Jensen Enterprises Limited, First Class, Atlas Limited versus E. Aeronauts and Son, Ashington Prejudice Limited versus Christopher Kids Limited. There are a lot of case laws. So if you have a time, you can go through the case laws and understand how the descriptions can be breached by the seller in these cases. Okay, it's only enough. You just cited 2 cases for your exam purpose, but because you are not a law student, so for your further reading, these are the cases you can read out there. Okay, then the third implied condition is condition as to sample. The third implied condition is condition as to sample. What is condition as to sample? Okay, sometimes just have an experience in your day-to-day life. Okay, you need to be by okay, you need to be by, okay, give me some time. Okay, I'm sorry on that. Okay, condition as to sample. There are circumstances. You need to be by a bicycle. You need to be by a bicycle. Okay. For that, you doesn't know the model. You just bring the bicycle in the shop and shows that this is a bicycle. Just like same thing. The color and the shape, everything. I need the same bicycle. A bicycle like this. You show to the seller. This is the same thing, I need that. Okay, there are circumstances. Now you just bring the goods to the shop and shows that this kind of goods I need that. Okay, so like that, condition has to sample. You bring the sample to the shop owner or to the seller and you ask the same kind of goods from the seller. So section 60 is give the answer for condition has to sample. Understand that the day-to-day life we are engaging the business. So in the business, if the seller is defeated, then how can they see that section 60? See that section 60. Sale by sample. Sale by sample. See that section 60. The contract of sale is a contract for sale by sample. The contract of sale is a contract for sale by sample, where there is a term in the contract express or implied to that effect. In case of a contract for a sale by sample, in case of contract for a sale by sample, is the implied condition that the bulk shall correspond with the sample in quality. The bulk shall correspond with the sample in quality. You just show one share to your seller. I need this kind of share 50. So the bulk, the 50 share given by the seller should correspond to the sample. What the 50 shares like the same quality and the conditions of the sample you source to the seller. First thing. Second one is there is an implied condition that the buyer shall have a reasonable opportunity. The buyer shall have a reasonable opportunity of comparing the bulk with the buyer shall have a reasonable opportunity comparing the bulk with the sample. Stopping the one share to the seller. Like that you order to the seller and seller also given the 50 shares. What's the sample you are sourced to the seller? Then as a buyer you shall have a reasonable exam opportunity to comparing the bulk with the sample. You can't compare your share and the 50 share given by the seller. You have to get the reasonable opportunity. Okay, the opportunity you can be are as like same. What's the share I brings that you can be compare. Third thing is that there is an implied condition that the goods shall be free from any defect. There is an implied condition that the goods shall be free from any defect. So you shows the share. The share should be knows that no, the 4 lakhs is there and thinks that if the 50 shares is given by the seller, one share leg is broke down. So whether it is free from any defect, there is a defect in the share. So rendering them unmerchantable, which would not be apparent on the reasonable examinations of the sample. So if you are receiving such kind of reasonable examination, in the reasonable examination, if you have found that there is a defect in the goods, or there is a defect in the particular examples in the chart, then you can be told to the seller, you need to be exchange the good. So however it is, you need to be get the reasonable examination whether all the bulk are correspond with such description. Okay, that is section 16 regarding by sample. Now we go to the slide back and understand what is sale by sample. See, also thing I'm explaining under section 16, you can be seen in the slide 2. When under contract of sale, goods are to be supplied. Goods are to be supplied according to a sample agreed upon. Contract for sale by sample, the implied condition, what's the thing? You need to get a reasonable, the bulk should be corresponding to a reasonable examination. If you find any defect, then you can be tell to the seller and the seller can be exchange the good. If the reasonable examination, if the goods are you are not be able to be found the defect and later time only if you identify the defect, then seller is liable on that. See, but we did that, the implied condition as to sample should be corresponding in the quality, reasonable opportunity you have to be get that, it's free from any defect, and it should be in a merchantable. Can someone read the example? I'm the only person always talk that. Can someone in the class? Can we read the example? Tiruni, can you read? Tiruni, can you read the example? Tiruni, are you there? Students, please make the responsible. Okay. If you are not, frankly say, I'm not in a position to read that one. No, I'm not in a position to answer that. Please don't keep quiet. Can someone please read the example? Anyone, please.
The company sells certain belts made up of a special material by sample for the Indian Army. The belts are found to be made up of plastic of cheaper quality, not discoverable by ordinary inspection.
Very good. Okay. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for your reading. Good. See that the company sell certain belt. One of the company belt a certain machine made up of a special material by sample for an Indian army. See that you know that not for Indian army how much of quality of belt is needed. So it's a special material. So the belt are found to be made up of plastic of cheaper quality. So the Indian Army ordered a seller the belt that should be made with the special material. But the belt are found to be made up of plastic cheaper quality. See that? What's the quality they asked there? Special material. But the seller given there plastic of cheaper quality, very low material, not discoverable by ordinary. Whether we has to be found out the defect, if the defect are apparent defect, if the defect are not apparent. If you are seeing the, for an example, if you are seeing the chairs, if one chair's leg is broke down, then you can find out that. Seller see that one of the chair leg is broke down. So please check this chair. By your reasonable examination, you can be find the defect of the goods. There are circumstances you can't be find the defect. Mostly like this, the belt and the cloths, the material you can't be identified. Some of the material, how much of the sample you shows that it's made with the same quality, same quantity. You can't be discover any defect in the material. But when you started to use that only, you can be identify it's a cheaper material. You may have some experiences in your life. For an example, you may be asked a sari or if you are wash also, the clothes should be maintained that kind of quality. Even the next day, if you are washing the particular sari, all colorings are come out. You may have the experiences, but in a particular shop, when you find that there is no such defect, you can't be discoverable. The particular material is a cheaper material. You can't be discoverable. But when you are started to use that only, actually you are find out that whether it's a good material or whether it's a cheaper material. So in this case, buyer is entitled to refund the price plus damages. Well, how is that? They ordered a special material of belt. But actually, seller made the belt not in the special material, but he used the plastic of cheaper quality. Plastic of cheaper quality. So for that reason, the buyer, the Indian Army, can reject the particular good because the good shall not come. Okay. Next, latent defect. What is latent defect? Discovered the defect when the goods are put into use. I told that no, there are some goods you even for your reasonable examinations also you can't be identified. The defect cannot be visible or the defect cannot be apparent. But when you started to use that only, the goods material, you understand that is a cheaper material. For that known as the latent defect. That known as latent defect. Later purpose. Later when you started to use that only, if you find the defects in the good, that's called as latent defect. See the example. X bought from buy. X bought from buy. Certain quantity of worst cutting equal to sample. The cutting was equal to sample, but due to the latent defect, the cloth was found to be. What's the reason he bought that kind of clothing? For making a coat. But later only they find that the material could not be unfit for making the coat. By using the material, you can't be manufacture a coat. But seller told that this is a material, you can be manufacture the coat. So in the sample also, the very first examination, you also understand that the material is very good for making the cloth. After when you started to use that only, you understand that the cloth material is unfit for making or manufacturing the cloth. So the buyer was entitled, the buyer was entitled to reject the good because the defect contained in the sample was not apparent on recent examinations of the sample. So there are circumstances if the defect or if there is any kind of wrong, if you could not be identified even when you get a reasonable examination or reasonable opportunity to examination, but when you started to use that only, you identify the particular product very cheaper material or cheaper product. Even in that circumstances also, you use that also, you can be get the compensation from the seller. Even you can be repudiate the contract as well. Okay. See the case Loimer versus Smith. Now, two parcels of meat, sale by sample of two parcels of meat. The buyer went to examine the bulk a week after. 1 week after only, the buyer examined the bulk. One parcel which was lying in the cellar warehouse was shown to him. Only one parcel as a sample which was shown by the seller to the buyer. Yes, but the seller refused to show the other parcel. If it is a two parcel, if the buyer asked a reasonable examination, then the two parcels should be given to the buyer. Then the buyer is the person has to be checked whether these two parcels are correspond with the sample. But only one parcel is given to the seller to check the quality and the quantity of the sample. But other parcel doesn't be get on that. So the seller defeat the buyer. So the buyer create the content. But the fact here, the two parcels are ordered by the buyer. But only one parcel is given to the seller as per the reasonable examination. Other parcel does not be given to the buyer. So the buyer under sale by sample he has to be given reasonable examinations of the good. But such reasonable examinations of the good, the buyer doesn't get that. For that reason, the buyer can be able to repudiate the contract or decline the contract of the seller. And there are cases Carrington versus Leicester Enterprises Limited, TJ Carrington versus Knowles and Foster, Harris versus Strong and Limited versus Theatre. There are cases regarding conditions as to time. So you have the time, you can read the cases and understand that how condition as to sample that. Student regarding conditions as to sample. Any doubts? So how the silent will understand that. So are you all understand? Are you all sleep? Just check from 102 into idea. See?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. No, into not sleep. Okay. MS 148. MS 148. 148. See, 148 is sleep. See that? Sleep 148. 127. 127. See, 127 also sleep. Tilshara idea. Tilshara.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Tilshara is alive. Very good. Okay. There are questions. Let's see. Ma'am, can you display previous slide? Whether this is previous one. Case law or previous one? 22. Slide 22. It, okay, another question. What kind of action we can get if the seller refuses to give a refund or claim? Okay, what kind of seller? That we studied under performance of a contract. That we studied under the performance of a contract. But for a questions, I answered that. What kind of action you can get? You can get if the seller refuses to give refund or claim. Okay, it's a condition. However, it is if the conditions is breached, seller has to be a refund. How much we are give to the seller regarding the goods, that kind of money, the kind of payment, the seller has to refund us. If you refuse that, if you refuse to give that, we can be file the money claim as a civil cases in the district court or as a criminal cases in the district court also, we can be claim the money because it's like a forgery. Now you are asking the quality quantity of the good, but if the seller is breach on that, you can be file the money cases against the seller and you okay compensation. Even in the magistrate court you can be get that, even in the district court also you can be claim on that. Understand? Sorry, 85. I will answer your questions 85. Good. This kind of questions I need the student. Then only I understand that you are there in the class. See, in the Zoom lectures, how can we understand? The C148 and others are asleep on there. Okay, ma'am, can you please upload this slide? Ma'am? Surely, ma'am, because previous time also I made the promises that definitely I will be upload this video recording and the slide. Because even I told that Madam Kirtika and they sent and created only received the password on that. Today I can be, today I can be able to be accessed and I will be uploaded the slide and recording. No worries on that. And I have the request also. You need to be do the assessment on this business law. You need to be do the assessment on business law. One assessment is there in my hand. Okay. One assessment is there in my hand. So I need to be give that assessment. So I can be uploaded in the LMS. One assessment. And other one is I plan to do like presentation. Mostly rather than the group discussion and the group work. Even for a report submission, I mostly like the presentation and Viva. So let's do that. One for your report submission. One is like under sales of good ordinance. I made the problem solving question. So for 100 marks, it's contained 2 questions. One question is for 60 marks and other questions for 40 marks. So altogether calculated 100 and it's divided into, that now I have to check the assessment mark, how much amount of marks I need to give for assessment. And other 2 assessments should be, one is presentation and other one is maybe Viva. Okay, so you need to be study on that. So today I will upload every note. So keep your notes with you. And if you have any doubts, you have to be put your questions in LMS. Herein after you as well as me also can we access the LMS. So under the slide or by which way text you can be ask your questions. I can be able to be answered. Okay. Okay, let's have a 2 minutes break. Then we continue. Let's have 2 minutes break. Now time is 2:19 and 2:21. Let's have 2 minutes break. Within the 2 minutes break, if you have any questions or queries, or if you need any further clarity, you don't need to be chat. You can chat. I can't be prevent on that. But I really like to engage by way of talking. Just unmute and ask them. Within this 2 minutes break. Don't you have any question regarding study? Okay, ask some common questions. Okay, I give the opportunities. Ask some common question within this 2 minutes break. Some common question, generally. If you get the opportunity, please utilize that. How you are silent as you are the first year students? Hope that. For that, think that you are a first years, can't be talk fully like that. You think that. No worries about that. If my lecturers is given like this chance, 1 minute or 2 minutes break, ask the common question, except not regarding this lecture. So anything common, I will be asked several questions. I fully utilize this opportunity. But you are silent. Ask something. Don't you have any lecture, physical lectures today? Guys, don't you have any physical lectures today?
No, ma'am.
No, good. Oh, the very first student is unmute and talk. Okay, there are some common questions. Now see that if the questions come, if I order that common questions come from the study, no question. Common question, good, good. So this is now, ma'am, this is first assessment in MCQ or written assessment. It's a report submission like that. Okay, there is a question. That's a fact I create there. The story I create there, and you need to be give the answer for these two questions. For the two questions, it's like a written essay. Then, when will you come physical lecture? Surely I will meet in the next week because this Saturday also I have my LLM exam. So this Saturday I can't be. Surely next week I will be meet you all. Okay, other question. Now, what is the easy way to study this subject? Have you think sir? Law is very hard. I know that the commerce stream student, math stream student, and the science stream students are so difficult. Somehow it's difficult to catch the law subject because you are study by way of mathematical ways now. Usually law is somehow theory, like a logical way. You need to be understand that. So somehow for a management student, somehow it's quite difficult. I'm not be say it's difficult, but somehow you maybe face some difficulties. But it's very, very easy. Very easy. If you understand the concept, this is the thing is there, then you need to be answered very easily. Okay, no worry. The subject is very easy. If you remember the concept, then it's very easy. Okay. Then before the exam, can we please explain how to do business law exam paper? Definitely, I will be doing your past paper revision and the tutorial class also before the exam. Okay, and I just give the model exam paper, how you need to be seek the exam, how you need to be prepared, and which area you need to be focused most. I will be giving. No issue. Then, ma'am, is presentation group or individual? Definitely, it should be individual. That if it's a group work, someone can be escaped from the group, and only in the group, only one or two do that. Because I'm also previous line was student now, I also did the same thing. Okay, definitely it should be the individual one. Then only you all are studying. Do we have taxation part for this semester? No, ma, you doesn't have a taxation, but you have a company and contract subject you have, contract concept you have, not for a taxation. Good. But the answer. Only the good. What's the thing? Is the presentation conducted by physical also? Definitely it's a physical. No worries. Even I can leave for a whole day in the court. But I should be sit there in the lecture hall to see the presentation. Definitely. It should be physical. Huh? No worries. I can be absent for 1 day in the courtroom. Examination, can we write our own or accurate note in this subject matter? What do you mean that the own or accurate notes? Do you mean own or accurate note? Yes, presentation slide is mine, but you can be get the idea. You can be use your own words. No issue. You can use your own words. Accurate notes in the sense you are asking regarding the section. You need to be put the section so like that you ask that. If you put the section and answer on that, definitely it will be welcomeable. But if you only understand the concept and you just write the answer, whatever the way you understand that, compared to other papers, you maybe get the lesser mark. And is it possible to do an individual presentation with this big number of students? No worries. Even for a law student, we have a 264 students. We did the presentation. Definitely. We just divided the day, yeah, and can we do? We can use the similar words. Yes, somehow the words may be difficult. The vocabulary in the legal term, somehow it's difficult. That's mean for a condition and warranty, you can't use that. But there are words, they are not like that. See that prescribe. Prescribe in the sense you can use your general English, repudiate the contract. Or you can be leave contract like that. You can be used. No worries. I could not be expected that you should be answer by you could recline that the contract. Recline that it's a legal term. Okay, it's only the business law students and can be utilized the word. But somehow you have to be practice the word. It's something. It gives some kind of attractive. No, if there are someone talking English in general way, and there are law students or legal students, and there are some other people use some kind of similar words, which gives some kind of activity. Someone is searching on that. What kind of word is that? You may have some experiences if you are chatting with someone. If you are using that general English, but if other parts who is chatting with you, if using some kind of word which is so difficult, then again you go to the dictionary. Can you ever who is Sajid Premadas's nod? Sajid Premadas's article. Have you ever read that? Read his article. What kind of word he used? Fantastic language. Even in the English, he used the word, vocabulary word, that kind of standard words. Even everything. Even I take the one page, again and go to the dictionary and see the word. What's the meaning of the word? That kind of standard word he used there. Okay, for your exam purpose, you should be use line or you should be repudiate. If you write, leave the contract also, it's good. In a legal term, if you say circumstances, but generally how we say situation. No worry, you can use the similar words. But started to use that. As you are a first year student, you have much time to develop your language skill. Okay, language is one of the ability. Use that. Any question? 2 minutes is past. This is the very first time you all are engaged with me, students. You're kind of enthusiastic. You need to be asked the question, even for a general question, like make a fun in the lecture hall. And even in the exam hall, when you are remember to study the exams or to write the answer, you may be remember. With the notes, you remember the job. Or with the job, you may remember and explain that by this job. You may remember. So like that, you need to be engaged in the classroom, student. Even you doesn't know the answer, you rightly give the answer. That makes you so confident, so love regarding the subject. So once you love the subject, when you started to love the subject only, you are really need to be get the good result in the subject. If you hate the subject, definitely can't. If you hate the subject, definitely can't. There are some points as we are the human beings. We need to be love the subject. Even you may be pass in your O level and in A level. For a subject teacher, you really study the subject for the subject teacher because the way of teaching of the subject teacher is really attractive you all. So that for that reason you study the subject. So there are something is attractive. Maybe way of teaching or maybe the subject love or maybe the lecturer. So somehow you need to be engaged. Whatever the way, if you study, then that's fine. No question. Shall I move? Some students, I receive the message they have a language barriers. No, as we are studying our mother tongue now, how we can we change all that from grade 1 nursery to still your A level, you are studying maybe in Tamil medium, maybe in Sinhala medium. This is the very first time you all may be engaged in the English medium. Don't worry regarding the language. We have a time to build on that. Okay. No worries. You can get the class even in the English language, even for first class. Don't think that. Everyone are in the same position. Okay. Okay. I think that I talked too much. Okay. it's not condition as to sample as well as description. Condition as to sample as well as description. Go to the sales of good ordinance, section 14, the second part. Second part of the sales of good ordinance, section 14. Okay. See, if someone is read from here, where I underline that or highlight that. Can someone? Can someone? Please quickly. Anyone?
If the sale be by sample as well as by description, it is not sufficient that the bulk of the goods corresponds with the sample if the goods do not also correspond with the description.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. See, if the sale by sample as well as description. The first part we study sale by goods by description. Second part, sale by sample as well as description. You got to the particular shop and you show the sample. This is the chair. I need 50 chair in your shop. You show the sample and you tell the description. See the chair. This is how the leg design is there. This is how the back design of the chair is there. This is how the material is there. So I need this kind of chair. So you engage in the contract, sale by sample as well as description. Sale by sample as well as description. So it is not sufficient that if the goods do not also correspond with the description. The simple summary, if you are entering in a contract, sale by sample as well as sale by description. If I am entering into a contract, sale by sample as well as sale by description, then the seller should be give the goods correspond with the sample as well as description. Both should be correspond. If the sample correspond and if the description does not correspond, then it's a breach of condition. If the descriptions is correspond but the sample does not be fit for the purpose, then again the conditions is breach. So if you are a buyer, you are entering into the contract with sale by sample as well as sale by description, then both should be correspond by the seller. Seller has to be give, satisfy sample as well as description. Okay, go with the slide. See here, if the sale is by sample as well as description, it is not sufficient that the bulk of goods correspond with the sample if the goods do not correspond with the description. So it's both should be correspond. The good must correspond with the sample as well as description. Simple summary is this. The goods must correspond with the sample as well as description. If the buyer entering into the contract, sale by sample as well as description. Okay. In such a cases, the implied condition is that goods shall correspond with both sample as well as description. In case of a good correspond with the sample but do not tally with the description or vice versa. It may be correspond with the description or correspond with not sample. But the buyer can repudiate the contract. Sorry, by the buyer can be repudiate the contract. So both should be correspond. See the example. A agreed to sell a certain oil described as refined rust oil. Refined rust oil to be warranted only equal to sample. The goods that A tenders are found to be equal to the sample but containing a mixture of chem oil. So he shows the sample as well as he describes that I need this refined all that this should be only equal to the sample. But the oil is given by the seller is containing a mixture of chem oil. The oil is containing the mixing with the chem oil. So B is the person, as a reasonable buyer, he can be able to be repudiate the contract. So if you are a buyer, if you are entering into the contract, sample as well as description, the seller has to be satisfied or has to be give the goods which is correspond with the sample as well as correspond with the description. Both should be correspond. Okay. Then, condition as to fitness or quality. Condition as to fitness or quality. See that this is also most important. This is also most important implied condition. Condition as to sample as well as description. See section 50. Implied condition as to quality of fitness. Okay, can someone read section 15? Please, quick. Can someone read section 15? Subject to the provisions of this ordinance.
Subject to the provisions of this ordinance and of any enactment in that behalf, there is no implied warranty or conditions as to the quality of fitness for any particular purpose of goods supplied under a contract of sale, except as follows. Where the buyer expressly or by implication makes known to the seller the particular purpose for which the goods are required, so as to show that the buyer relies on the seller's skill or judgment, and the goods are of a description which it is in the course of the seller's business to supply, whether he be the manufacturer or not. There is an implied condition that the goods shall be reasonably fit for such purpose.
Okay.
So, provide that in the case of a contract for the sale of a specified article under its patent or other
trade name. Okay, rate name. There is no implied condition as to its fitness for any particular purpose. Okay, so section 15 speaks about regarding the implied condition as to quality of fitness. Implied condition regarding quality of fitness. Okay, for an example, if you are asking the washing machine, okay, for an industrial purpose, the voltage of washing machine and the amount of cloths which was the particular washing machine is intended to be washed, everything should be fit for such a fully automatic washing machine. You're asking fully automatic washing machine and you express your intention. This is I need for industrial purpose. But the washing machine given by the seller, it's a semi-automatic washing machine. Then the particular fitness, what purpose you are asking that is breached by the seller. The particular fitness or which purpose is asked by the seller, it's totally breached by the seller. Then it's a breach of condition regarding fitness or quality of the goods. So what's the thing is there? The same sections you can read here. Generally, there is no implied condition or warranty as to the quality of fitness for any particular purpose. Generally, there is no implied condition. Whatever the goods you are asking from the seller, that should be fit from your quality or fit for your purpose. The buyer must satisfy himself quality as of the goods. This is expressed by maxims caveat emptor. Okay, caveat emptor rule we studied later. If you are asking something, if the seller give the goods, then you are the person has the responsibility to satisfy himself or herself regarding the quality. For an example, if you ask a washing machine, automatic washing machine, and if the seller gave the washing machine, and you have to be checked that whether it is an automatic washing machine or it's a semi-automatic washing machine, how much amount of quality or quantity this washing machine can be able to be washed per time. Everything you need to be satisfied. The seller no need to be expressed. You need to be satisfied. You are known as a caveat emptor rule. The buyer, let the buyer be aware. You need to be understand that whether for your purpose the particular goods are suitable. Your purpose only you are the persons know that. Your purpose only you are the persons know that, not the seller knows that. So buyer, if you buy something, then you need to be understand yourself if the goods are fit for your purpose, whether these goods are fit for your purpose. There are some exception to this particular rule. If you buy something in a shop, and you should be understand that whether the goods are fit for your purpose. There are some exceptions to this rule. For an example, the particular purpose for which goods are required must have been disclosed expressly or impliedly by the buyer to the seller. If the buyer doesn't know anything regarding the goods, the buyer doesn't know anything regarding the good, and he just expressed that this is the purpose, I need that. And he relied on seller's skill and judgment. See that the buyer must have relied upon the seller's skill and judgment. Or the seller some similar good. In that circumstances, you no need to be aware. Understand? What is caveat emptor rule says that
Recording stopped.